Hello, everybody. I'm gonna do this, turn that off. All right, everybody, welcome to the very first Tech Talk with JAmemories. We've got a great show for you today. If you didn't know who I am, John McLauchlan with JAmemories. This is the tech show that we're going to be doing. So hopefully it's fun. Hopefully we have a lot of fun with this one. We've got a lot going on. So with that, let's get started right away. So give me a second. I'm going to share this stream with Instagram and Facebook and all that good stuff. So I'm on my Facebook page, on my YouTube channel. See, first off, if I can, there we are live. So I'm going to share this with chat real quick. Send that to a friend of mine. And I'm also going to share the video, copy the link, go back to my Facebook page, and so many buttons. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We are going to do this. We're going to paste that, send that. And the last one, let's send a link on Instagram. You're sitting there going, what in the world are you doing? What are you doing? All right. We're just having fun with technology. One of the things that I love, and so we are live on YouTube only tonight, and we will be live on YouTube for the tech show exclusively. So if you want to join in the conversation, jump on, leave a comment. The chat is open, so just leave a comment in the chat, and I'll get to those as we go. And if nobody comes in and nobody shows up, that's all right. We're just going to keep going and having a good time and enjoying our time together. One of the things that I love is technology is that very thing that gets people motivated, that gets people, how can you say, excited about what's coming next. We are, we live in a society that loves to, how should I say it? We live in a society that loves this, the phone. And the phone has become the avenue by which a lot of people communicate. Technology has opened up the doors for people all over the world without regard to who they are, the popularity. You know, I'm sitting here in my garage where I built a small studio, and I'm talking to whoever wants to listen, and I'm able to put content up no matter where I'm at, no matter what I'm doing. I can sit here in my garage using all the technology that I have here, or I can just grab my phone and go live on Facebook. Now, YouTube obviously requires a little bit more people, and you do have certain limitations when you go live on YouTube. But as you can see right now, I'm live on YouTube, sitting here in my garage. And anyone can do that with any content. With regard to, you got to be respectful of people. You got to be able to share your thoughts, but at the same time, you can't be doing talking bad about someone else in a hurtful way. And we've seen there's plenty of content out there that gets in that gray area. But what this show is, and what I propose to do on this show and subsequent shows hereafter, is to discuss the ins and outs of technology, talk about little things, and discuss the joys of technology. Technology does not need to be scary, does not need to be intimidating. In fact, technology and streaming, whether it be podcasts, video blogs, straight up shows, all of that, it all comes down to our motivations and what we do. And yes, there is definitely a learning curve. I can tell you right now, if I tried to stream, say, even 5 years ago, I would be fumbling up and down, left and right, and it would be one of these things that would not look very good on the channel. And I definitely don't want that. I don't want people to come on my channel and see something that's not very good. Now, am I the best streamer out there? Do I have a lot of content to share? Yes, but I'm definitely not the best streamer out there. In fact, I follow, both on my personal page and my business page, several streamers that I watch on a regular basis. Guys like Photo Joseph, who've been doing this for years. You know, he's gone out and he's put time in so that he's actually got he's an ambassador for certain companies. You know, and then you got Aaron Precarity. I don't know if I'm saying that right. He streams every Sunday, and you know he's sharing his insights, the technologies that he's got. And then David Foster with Creator Toolkits. You know, I love his content, and he's actually one of the guys that I was able to purchase some content from him and use that on my shows, both shows here. And the enjoyment of reaching out with other content creators, sharing content, and building an environment where people can share stuff along. Now, I'm just starting out. I don't have my own content to share, but I'm hoping down the road I will. I'll be able to create content and sit down and create content that people find intriguing and helpful and useful. So that's what JAmemories is all about. The company was started a few months ago, and in that time we've gone out and we've helped churches and small businesses create a streaming platform, a streaming. We didn't create a streaming platform. What we did is we helped them get their streaming to a better place. Both churches that I'm working with is continuing to grow in their technology and grow in their abilities and see what they're doing and how that would impact their message. You know, when I started JAmemories, that was June of this year. I had already been doing what I'm doing now, consulting churches and individuals and small businesses for a couple of years now. I've been working in broadcast for 20 plus years. So my knowledge base has grown over the years. One of the things I've learned and I share with everybody is the fact that technology is an ever-changing, ever-evolving tool. You go to the store and you look at the laptops, because as you know, streaming is built upon some kind of hardware, software, and whatnot. You have to have a combination of hardware along with software to make streaming happen. Now, you may be sitting there with a piece of hardware, such as the ATEMs, ATEM from Blackmagic Design, and you may sit there and say, well, no, all I have is hardware. That's all I have. I mean, I've got a mic hooked up, I've got a camera hooked up, and I'm streaming to the ATEM, and then the streaming is going to Facebook. But you still have to get on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch or Twitter or wherever you may be streaming to. Maybe you're going to Restream or Caster or any of the other myriad of other streaming platforms out there. The key is you are then having to use software. So you have a combination of hardware, software, and of course, depending on what your show is and depending on how complex your layout is, you may have software doing things like the bug, which is right below. It's actually right about there, I think it is. That's the bug. And then, you saw the bug earlier with my name. That's, well, it doesn't want to show up right now. I don't know why, but it's not showing up. Because I'm hitting the wrong button. And I'll show you in a minute what I'm talking about. Button. There it goes. And that's just it. The bug in my name, John McLauchlan. So one of the things about technology and streaming and whatnot is, one, you can't be intimidated. Every guy that I've watched, every content creator that I've listened to, every person who's gotten the premise of streaming, one of the first things that they say is practice. And when you practice some more. And when you feel just a little bit comfortable, not a lot, not tremendously, not, you don't have to be completely 100% comfortable in front of the camera, in front of the mic. But once you get the technology down, once you get, all the little bugs worked out, then go ahead and stream. Go ahead and pop up the camera and shoot yourself and do a video and post it. Now, you may be sitting there going, I don't want to go public with my videos. I don't feel comfortable doing that. Okay, fine. But at least go on Facebook and do a private video to yourself, or YouTube and stream to yourself and under a private video. Or if you have a couple of friends on Facebook that will be, one, nice, but be truthful with you, then go ahead and just invite them to a private Facebook video. And go live and try some stuff out. Have some fun. Communicate with your friends via chat or via the phone messengers or whatever. And just start somewhere. And regardless of how technology is, because we all know If you don't know, and I'm going to tell you now, we all know that technology is flaky. You know, I sat here today. I got home around 3:30 and started prepping. I had a few things to do, but setting up, getting all of the bugs worked out, all the lower thirds need to be built, because I've been toying with this idea of putting this show on the air for a couple weeks, and I've touted it a couple times. I am in my garage, so you are hearing some noises. The house does rattle a little bit. But one of the things that that you have to deal with. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. So I've been toying with the idea of starting this show. And I happened to get a call this afternoon. This morning, discussing some things and wanting me to help them out with their videos. And then, and I was suggesting a couple of things, and I said, you know what? That'd be a great place to start. So, we are going to discuss one of the we're gonna discuss let me see. I think we're gonna discuss OBS. I've got two things I want to discuss, and I don't know if we're gonna get to both of them today. But we're gonna discuss OBS. OBS is stands for Open Broadcaster Studio. It is an open source program. Bear with me 1 second. All right, I'm back. Sorry, I had to check something on my phone. So one of the things that that I wanted to show you was just the fact that there's software out there that you can use. And so hold on. I apologize about that. I wasn't supposed to do that. Again, glitches in the software. Actually, that was user error. That was user error. All right. So I want to show you my screen. There we go. That's the shot I wanted to show. So I want to move this up a little bit because my bug is under it. There it goes. So this right here, what you're seeing right here is OBS. OBS, like I said, stands for Open Broadcast Studio, Open Broadcaster Studio. And one of the things that you can do with Open Broadcaster is create scenes. Now, if you follow David Foster and the Creator Toolkit, and he's got several channels. He's actually got quite a few channels that he does content. He actually uses OBS and vMix. I'm not sure if he uses Ecamm or not, but he's one that loves software, streaming software. He builds layouts. He's got complex layouts. He's got simple layouts. And one of the things that he does is he loves to create scenes in OBS. And so OBS, when you install OBS, you can just go to OBS, find it on Google, and you will find OBS very easily. And in fact, let's look real quick. I'll show you OBS. So there's OBS right here. That's the symbol for it right here. But you can go to the download page, and obviously you'll want to know which type of program you're using. They got platforms for Windows, Apple, and Linux. So if you're a Linux person, you can run OBS on your Linux thing. Go ahead and install. They just came out at the beginning of September, version 28.0.1. Now, I have downloaded OBS 28.0.1, and there are plenty of bugs with it. So if you don't have OBS on your system, I feel comfortable enough to say you can download this version, because you're not going to know the bugs of what's there. Now, because I've already downloaded it, we're not going to do it again. But once you download and you install, I did take note because I started it up early. When you first start OBS, it's going to ask you, what in the world are you doing with this software? The computer has an auto configuration program built in to OBS. And one of the things that you can do is you can either stream with it, you can record with it, or just play around with it and just create scenes and do all that things and not really do anything with it. I actually will show you a layout because I have OBS running in the background on my other computer. So I've got, this is OBS running the animation from the beginning of the show. I'll restart. There's the countdown that you guys saw playing, and it's outputted to my stream via my computer. And I've got several other layouts. I've got some fun ones that I use during my regular show. And then I actually can show you what the output is actually doing. So I apologize, you guys didn't see any of that. Alright, so this is the output that I was actually showing, but I will show you the other scene. Yeah. How am I going to do this? I kind of messed myself up. So go back to the camera, and there we are. Then go here. And this is one of the things about when you're streaming by yourself. Let me just give you guys a little bit of background as to what I'm doing in my studio space. And someday I may give you guys a sneak peek. It's not the cleanest. I'm constantly moving things, constantly adjusting, because I'm in a small space. I do other things in here besides just stream. So this is not a typical studio where I set everything up. So a couple things. So I am running. My camera. I am shooting into an A10 Mini Extreme. And then out of the A10 Mini Extreme, I am looping into an A10 Mini Pro. Now, the reason I do that is on Sundays, I stream to both YouTube and Facebook. Both. No, not Sundays. Saturday nights at 8 o'clock. Live with JAmemories. If you want to watch that, subscribe to the channel. We go live each Sunday, and we are sorry, I keep saying Sunday. We go live each Saturday night at 8 o'clock. Now, so I'm going through an A10 Mini Extreme into an A10 Mini Pro. That is what's serving up the servers. Now, the content that I've actually got 3 computers running, and I have the room to run 4 computers, all doing different things, all serving up different purposes. Number one, computer, the primary computer, is what OBS is running. OBS, as you can see, let me minimize this. No, you minimize that. Oh, where did I go with? There we go. Well, let me show you this. Oh, that's the old OBS. That's Parsec. Yeah, what was I looking for? So OBS. Oh, OBS is over here. So you want to see my screen there. There we go. So OBS is running my stream. So I start out with the countdown video, and I've got different countdowns for different shows. So this is the countdown for the tech show. And then that is being outputted to the primary computer, which I will pop up right here. So that is all that is doing. It's a black screen with the numbers. I then will overlay some kind of graphic, whether it be so right now I've got the bug up, but I took that off. So what I did is I took the slate that I posted for the thumbnail and I put it on online. So what I did is I had the key thumbnail with OBS on top of it. And of course, now I'm stuck. Hold on, let me turn that off. Go back to the bug and turn it back on. So yeah, it can get kind of complicated. And running the audio, running the video, running all this stuff, it can get very complicated. And like I started to say earlier, is I got home around 3:30. By about 4:30, I was sitting at my desk working on the layouts, working on the thumbnails, working on the bugs and the layouts, and putting it all together. Working on my notes about what to show you guys, simply because I wanted to make sure that I had everything worked out. Because one of the worst things that you can do is turn your equipment on, jump on, and nothing works. Now, I'm not saying you can't jump online and go live at the spur of the moment. There is definitely a place for that. But at the same time, never take it for granted that everything's going to work every single time you turn something on. Technology doesn't work that way. Give yourself some time to test equipment, to make sure your sound is good. Make sure your connections are good. Make sure your video connections are solid. Because the minute you don't will be the minute that something fails and now you're struggling trying to figure out. Does that mean that every time that you sit down and you prepped, I prepped for about 4 hours today? Does that mean that you're not going to have problems, that everything's going to go smoothly? No. But at least you can figure out, okay, you know what's supposed to happen, so you can try to kind of figure out where stuff is and where stuff is going and how to get stuff working again. So I've got OBS running on the primary computer. I've got a secondary computer, which, believe it or not, is what you're seeing right here. Let me do this, and I'll show you that again. There you go. That is the background, and that's where I've got this OBS showing up on. Now, I don't know if you can see what this is. It may be a little small, but this right here is a remote desktop software called Parsec. Parsec allows you to remote desktop and allows you to do remote desktops, and I'm able to do in a studio environment a live demo from my primary computer so that you guys can see it and actually get it up. Let me show you real quick. We will be discussing a little bit more of the OBS here in just a minute. But let me just show you. This is the ATEM software. If you've never heard of ATEM, Blackmagic Design came out with the ATEM several years ago. And subsequently, right after, they came out with the ATEM Mini, which was the first one. Then they came out with the ATEM Mini Pro. Then they came out with the ATEM Mini Pro ISO. And then, a few months later, they came out with the ATEM Mini Extreme and the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO. Now, I own the ATEM Mini Pro and the ATEM Mini Extreme. I have used the ATEM Mini, ATEM Mini Pro, ATEM Mini Pro ISO, ATEM Mini Extreme ISO. The only one I have not actually used is the ATEM Mini Extreme. But I can guarantee you I understand that the premise behind them all because of owning the ATEM Mini Pro and the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO. I'm pretty sure I can figure out the ATEM Mini Extreme. Now, the difference between the Pro and the ISO models, okay, both on the Extreme and the Pro versions, between the regular and the ISO version, is the fact that we are able to record everything, all the inputs. So I've got 8 inputs on this switcher here. I've got blank, computer 1, primary computer, Sony camera, playback, black, H2R, which we'll discuss in a different show, overlay computer, and blank 2. Actually, this is black. That's a computer source. So the nice thing about it is, so the ISO version, one of the reasons I like using the ISO version is because I can record the primary shot that I'm recording. You know, the view that you're seeing. You're seeing a box of me, and then you're seeing the side box over here where it's, whatever software I wanted to show you. But if I happen to come to this shot too early, and like I did earlier, and I'm talking about stuff and I'm doing it over on the side, I can re-upload a new version of the show after I've cut it. I can cut it back together and make it look right. So it makes it a lot easier. Now, all that to say, what are we talking about? Why are we sitting here discussing ATEMs and all this other stuff? And it comes back to the layout of what we're doing. Now, all right, so let's go back to OBS and look at some of the stuff that we can do. So on this OBS here, once you've established your screen resolution, figured out what you're going to do with it, are you going to stream with it? Now, if you're going to stream, you're going to set up the streaming settings. You're going to go into your settings. Oh. You're going to go into your settings and set up your streams, YouTube. And the nice thing is if you use a persistent key in YouTube and Facebook, I honestly have never streamed on Twitch, so I'm not sure if this is the same way. But if you can, on YouTube and Facebook, you actually can use a persistent key. So every time you come to your streams, you set up your stream in YouTube, you come over here, you start your stream, and you're ready to go out the door. There is no delay. You're not having to go every single time and get a stream key, but you're there, you're done, you're moving on. So, now, outputs. This is where it's crucial to figure out what you're outputting to. If you're streaming, what the bit rate is, how you're doing it, what software, what encoders you're going to use, and then recording. Are you going to be recording to the hard drive? Or are you going to be recording to an external hard drive? You want to set all that stuff up, your recording format. Then also you want to check and make sure your audio settings are correct. Same thing with video, your aspect ratios, what size. I do broadcast, so everything is 1920 by 1080. But, and then you got some other fun toys you can set up for, hotkeys and, make things a little bit easier during your stream to make it work. And now, of course, you got all this other lovely settings that would take me hours to even figure out. I'm not a master when it comes to OBS. I use OBS for the things that I do, but I don't know it. I don't know it enough to be safe to say that I can give you all the ins and outs of it. But the nice thing about it is you come over here and you set up your scene. So when you start, you're going to create a scene. We're going to call this scene Tech Talk Test Scene. Now, you obviously have nothing in there because this is the window that tells you what's in the scene. So you have over here a list of scenes, and you got tons of them. You can do as many as you want. I don't even know if there is a limit. I do know that it can get very cumbersome if you have too many. And I did watch a video the other day that you can now, group your scenes together. So if you're going to do a show and you've got multiple shows on the scenes, you can actually go in and create a group and tie all the scenes for that show down. So, all right, so we're going to come in here. We're going to create a new piece. So, right now we've got audio mixers in here. You can come in here and figure out what your audio settings are, where your audio is coming from, and you've got choices to choose from to make these better or worse, figure out what's going here. If I turn on this one, nope, I don't have any audio hooked up to this computer right now, which is fine because I'm not using it for audio. The ones that do have audio, we can do that. So, Okay, so we're back on our test stream. So we're going to add let's say, a screen capture. We don't have any screen captures here yet. So we're going to create a new one. And it's going to pull up the screen capture. And we're going to say default, full. This is a little smaller. And we're going to say the full second screen, which should be this one. So now when I take it, I should see black because it's outputting black over the same thing. It's the same stuff. And, it's one of those weird things. I don't even know why I would take that again. Oh, started my clock again. Anyway. So that's I think you don't use that if you're actually going to show a screen grab of a certain picture, or I can see it where if you've got a second screen, you want to share that screen, you would want to do that. You would want to share your screens, but I don't need to do that since I have a second output already to my switcher. So let's remove this and let's go add something else. So you got game capture. So if you play video games, you can capture right here. And video capture device. That would be if you've got an ATEM hooked up or a webcam or something like that. If you've got a webcam, it will show up here. So we've got a virtual one. So we can do that, but I'm not going to add that. The nice thing I like is you can play media sources. You can do images. You can do almost anything that will allow you to, you can show browser. So you would add and you can add a scene. So this is where the power of OBS comes in. You can build scenes upon itself. So say you have the bug in one scene and you want to add that to every scene so that it's always in the same spot. It's always, and then when you change that scene with the bug, it's updated across the board and all of your scenes that use that scene. And it comes down to very easy. I do not have an actual camera hooked up. I wish I had a camera on. I wish I had a camera hooked up to this thing. But I do not. So I can't actually add a camera to it. But it would show up in your list as an option. Video capture device. Under there, you add your video. You hit OK. Oh, it may not work since it's not it's a virtual thing. I actually didn't try this out. I thought I did, but I guess it won't load since it's not a real device. But the key is, so let's take the black magic. So I've got black magic pumping into my computer. That is a video capture device. Okay, so now you're seeing in OBS the same exact thing that I'm showing you guys. So I guess I was wrong. It's now virtually looped infinitely. So basically you would do that. You would check to make sure your audio is right. We don't have a mic on in here. So I take that back. I'm full of surprises today. And this is what I was talking about. Technology is changing. So anyway, so you have your capture device. In my case, it's the Blackmagic ATEM. You have your audio on the mic, which can either, if the camera has a built-in microphone, you can use that. You may need something like this, where you have a physical microphone hooked into your computer, whatever that is. And then once you're done, you come over here, you take your transition, and then once you're ready to go, you hit record, and like I said, you've already set up where you're streaming to in your settings. I'll show you that again. Settings. Let's see. Output. Okay. So your stream path is right here. So you'll just browse to where you want to go. You want to record. The quality is the same as the stream. Format is a MP4 file. You can do MOV, you can do MKV, TS, M3U8. These are more for the adaptive bitrate files. I'm not really sure how OBS handles those, but I'm sure if you select one of those, you'll get the options for that. FLV, Flash video player. I'm not really sure if people still use Flash. I recommend MP4. Just because, it is a little bit more compressed, but it's going to save you on file size. But at 2.5 kilobytes, it's not too bad. And we are using H.264 encoding software. So for me, MP4 would be the ideal setup for me here in this setup. So once you've made sure that that's all ready, you hit start recording, and configuration output path is invalid. Please check. Since, of course, my path is not legit. So, the joys of live TV, right? So, I mean, is it difficult? Is it complicated? Certainly, it can be. It definitely can be. It can be hard. It can be one of those things that you just don't want to deal with because it's too hard, it's too complicated, and you just don't want to deal with the offset that something's going to go wrong. You may be sitting there going, John, you're talking way over my head. You're not making any sense. This is all complicated, and that's okay. That's the joy of it. If you have a phone, if you have a cell phone with a camera on it, you can do videos. If you have a data plan with that phone, you can go live. So it doesn't have to be complicated. Can it be intimidating? Of course it can be intimidating. But one of the things that people need to understand is you're only limited by your own hesitation. So if you take the time to it really threw me off here a second. I'm looking at this is a perfect example. I have no idea what's gonna happen right now because I looped my ATEM through the I looped the ATEM through the OBS, right? So this is what's outputting to the OBS right here. So you're seeing this right here is the same as what you guys are seeing. So it's looping through. So when I took my primary camera on my screen, All right, let me do this. So when I did that, so I'm gonna take this. So now I'm off, but you're seeing the same thing on the stream. So what happened was I was sitting here working with the ATEM software, which is what you see right here, turning off my bug so you can't see me anymore. And then I went ahead and took my primary computer as the source, and this is what happens. It's going to create a back loop. See that? You see that? Oh, that green? That green is called a back loop, and that back loop creates a noise bed. It's basically a video feedback, and so I've got hold on, let me see, primary computer, and so right now I've got let me see, Facebook is yelling at me. All right, so I think we're okay. Yeah, Facebook was yelling at me, going, no, we don't like that. Sorry, not Facebook, YouTube. YouTube was yelling at me, going, "Oh, we don't like that. Don't do that." So if I was to take right now the primary computer, which is on me, I can see me duplicated, and actually it's not too bad. It's real time. It's actually pretty good, but I don't want to do that because of the thing, and I really don't want to create a problem later on. So let's see what we can take on the stream and do this here. We'll do that. We'll stop that, and we will not take it, but I will put it like that. Is that on there? There it goes. So that's the output of Camera 1, the primary computer. And like I said, I mean, so how I'm running my show, just so you know, how I'm running my show is I'm using a computer program called Companion. Companion allows me to sit here and do all the things that I'm doing. So I'm going to do primary, I want to do on the background, I want that off. Hold on. And this is what I wasn't planning on showing you guys this. So, so I'm not sure. Yeah, we'll play that, and then no, we won't tie that, and then I want to show myself. Where's primary computer in the background? No, I want to do that. Primary computer, output in black. Oh, I want to do first computer. It's not working. I didn't practice this, so I don't know why I can't get the primary. Oh, I know why. There we go. There we go. All right. So this is what's happening. So this is the software that is running. But there's another program in the background running called Companion. And it's got, actually, I've got it up over here on this one. This is giving me all my buttons that I can hit that are pre-programmed for the show. I created all these little buttons. And they do things like, if I hit the auto button right there, I go back and forth between this and this. This button turns the bug. So the bug, which you see over there in the corner there, right over there, that turns that from just the bug to Tech Talk. So if I hit that button, it goes to Tech Talk. And then I can turn my bug on or off, or in this case, off and then on. I've also got a button for my name. So if you forget who I am, there you go. There you go. And I've got, so what these buttons down here do, they are preset buttons. So I'm loading the primary computer. Sorry, it should be computer, not camera. Primary computer into preview overlays, which is what you're looking at right now with me. And then you have the Sony camera, which is what I use here. And I've got a phone camera, which isn't hooked up right now, so I won't show you that. But, that allows me to preview what's coming up next. And then I've got a cut button right here, which, does that real fast, cuts. And I've got an auto button that does nice fades. And then I've got a few other buttons over here. And then I have this lovely little thing right here. This is my clock. It tells me how long we've been on the air, how long we've doing stuff like that. So, and that's what I enjoy doing. I enjoy, I'm going to turn that off because that's not even in the right space. But, it's what I love to do. And one of the things the reason I love doing this is this is my primary job at my full-time job. If you watch my other shows, if you follow me on social media, on any of my other social media platforms, I work for Richard Roberts Ministries, the Oral Roberts Evangelistic Association. So I am doing this stuff all the time. So by me doing this here and getting online, it allows me to practice. Because what's the proverb that says practice makes perfect? And as you saw tonight, the number of mistakes I made, the glitches, don't be intimidated by mistakes. Don't let mistakes hold you back. Don't let that stuff stop you from doing what you're supposed to be doing. And be mindful of what's going on around you, but don't be afraid to jump the gun and start something and run with it. Because if you allow your hesitations, you're gonna run out of things to do. You're not gonna be able to succeed. And one of the things that we believe here at JAmemories is we want to see people succeed. We want people to do the best that they can. Work through those difficult times, work through the hardships, and then succeed. That's our motto here at JAmemories. So, with all of that being said, thanks for hanging out with us today. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit the like button. If you are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let us know in the chat that you've watched. If you're watching on the replay, go ahead and hit that replay, hashtag replay, so I know that you are catching afterwards. Thank you for hanging out with us today. We will be back again. I can't guarantee next week, but we will be back again soon. We've got some fun things. I've got something over my shoulder right here that I'm really excited about hooking up and setting up. So I'm going to show you all that. I've got a demo of a PTZ camera I'd love to show you. And I'd love to go a little bit more in depth on the ATEM line and talk about Blackmagic Design and all of their fun stuff, and Sony and Panasonic. I've got a lot of things that I love to talk about technology-wise. So stick around, have some fun, like the videos, share the videos with those that love technology. If you have any projects, reach out to me. Go to my website, JAmemories.com. Reach me. You can hit the Take an Action Now button and reach out to me, and I will get back to you. Discuss your projects, discuss your dreams and what you want to do, and we'll see if we can come up with something great. God bless you. Hope you have a great week. And if you want to watch me on Saturday nights, 8 o'clock, right here on YouTube, as well as JA Memories on Facebook. God bless you. And I end every stream this way, even these shows. God loves you no matter who you are or where you are. God bless, and we'll see you next time.